Guys, it finally happened. After 2 long, annoying years, PlayStation finally announced a new showcase that will happen on May 24th next week. I can't say I'm not excited for this considering how I reacted to the last showcase we got. Spider-Man 2, bro. They showed fucking Venom. That was Craven. They showed Venom. Let's go!
One eternity later.
It's especially exciting because we finally got through the majority of the games that was announced when PS5 was first revealed. We almost got through it without a single bad game, Forspoken. So the excitement really comes from seeing what PlayStation will look like for the next couple of years. I feel like we know barely anything besides the few obvious games that were already shown, so I wanted to kind of round up every first party studio and rumored third party exclusives and see what could possibly be in this showcase. I was being hyperbolic when I said we're not gonna throw everything that's rumored in here, just things that are somewhat realistic for this showcase. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be streaming and live reacting to this event next week, so if you want to watch me nerd out about games, follow me on Twitch and witness my descent into madness. So we already have a few ideas of what's definitely gonna make an appearance at the showcase. So let's get the obvious ones out of the way first before we really get deep in the trenches and rumor mill. This was one of the surprises from the 2021 showcase that has barely been talked about since it was announced. We still only have the reveal trailer and we know the release date will be in the fall of this year. There's zero doubt in my mind that we'll get new footage of this game considering it comes out in about like 4 to 5 months. This is definitely my most anticipated game of the year, so I really can't wait to see this. My prediction is we're gonna get a new gameplay trailer or demo, maybe both, and then they'll reveal some sort of themed controller or faceplates for the PS5, kind of like how they did with God of War Ragnarok or Final Fantasy 16. Hopefully we get some new Venom footage and also Craven, who I think was the voiceover in the reveal trailer. But yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 is definitely going to be webbed into this showcase. It's been no secret that Naughty Dog's working on a new Last of Us multiplayer game. They literally confirmed it was coming back during the 2022 Summer Games Fest, I think. And Neil Druckmann himself said we'll be getting more details in 2023. Well, last time I checked my calendar, it said that's the year we're in, so why would this game not make an appearance? It wouldn't make much sense. Especially considering the success of the HBO show earlier this year, I think they'll for sure want to capitalize on that momentum and let people know what's coming for this IP. We don't really know much about the game yet, besides the fact that it's a multiplayer game. Neil Druckmann in an interview a while ago did sort of hint at the game having some sort of co-op mode, but I'd honestly be really surprised if this game didn't have some sort of PvP aspect to it. Whatever this turns out to be, it will for sure have my interest. I think the release date will be revealed at this showcase, and I'm leaning towards early November. If not that, then definitely like Q1 2024. Not really much to say about this one considering the game's already out for PS5 and PSVR 2. All I can really add to this is that they'll probably add some sort of DLC for Gran Turismo 7. I'm not really a huge racing guy, so this won't be for me, but I think it's a safe bet to say Gran Turismo 7 will show up in some way, especially considering the movie will release soon and Sony likes to pair their movies and shows with game content as well. We've seen this game a few times now, and this seems to be PlayStation's answer to something like Bayonetta. Now, this isn't a first-party title, but it is a PlayStation 5 and I think maybe PC exclusive that will definitely make another appearance. I'm interested in this game for story reasons, of course, but it looks like we'll have a lot of fun with like the flashy combat. It's not really much to say about it yet, but they said 2023 was the launch window for this game, and I'm assuming it won't be delayed. I'll expect like a late September, early October release date for this. Team Ninja announced this game out of nowhere during I think a state of play in 2022. This came as a surprise to me because I thought they had their hands full with Wolong, but it seems like they've been working on this game as well. We haven't gotten many details about this game besides the fact that it's described as an action RPG that seemingly takes place in 19th century Japan. Personally, I'm sort of hit or miss with Team Ninja. I love the Ninja Gaiden games, but I'm personally not a fan of their Souls-like direction they've been taking lately. I'm hoping we get something in a different style this time around. I feel like we have more than enough Souls-like games at the moment anyway, so let's switch it up a little bit. All that being said though, there's no way this game is releasing this year. Seems more like an April to June 2024 type of game to me. This game made a surprising appearance at the Game Awards last year, and I thought it looked pretty awesome. I have a good feeling this will show up at the showcase, but I don't think we'll get very many details about the game. Maybe just a weird vague trailer that Kojima loves to do and some sort of release window maybe. I'm expecting this game to come out late 2024 at the earliest. I'm thinking it's more likely it'll be 2025. I feel like this game was always meant to be revealed at a PlayStation showcase, but Sony just took too long to do one, so Konami kind of had to announce it for themselves. I think this game is pretty much a lock to show up and we'll get some sort of gameplay for it. I know a lot of people don't really like Bloober Team as a developer, but I think if it's one thing they nail in their games is atmosphere, which is pretty important for Silent Hill, so this one has a chance it'll be good. I don't really know. I've never played a Silent Hill game before to be honest, but as a horror fan, I'm definitely going to be picking this up just because of how legendary it is in the horror game community. So yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on this one. I feel pretty sure this game will be coming out in 2024. I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a spring 2024 release date. This game showed up at a state of play in somewhere in 2022 and it seemed very interesting. So it's a first-person survival game where your only companion in the game is the car that you drive. There doesn't seem to be any combat outside of the car, so I imagine you just drive it the entire game. I don't really know. We don't really have many details about this game, but I would be surprised if it didn't show up here. I don't want to say this game isn't important because I'm sure there will be some fans for it, but Sony does have a tendency to have some filler to like begin the show with, so I expect this will be somewhere in the beginning of the show. That being said though, I would expect an early 2024 release date for this, and maybe even a PSVR 2 version as well, because I don't know, it seems like a good VR game to me. Now, just lock this one in. I'm 100% sure Twisted Metal is going to show up here. They just dropped the trailer for the show, and we know Sony's all about that synergy with their multimedia projects. I imagine this new Twisted Metal game will be released somewhere around when the show premieres on Peacock. I don't really know when that is, but this sounds about right. I think I speak for everyone though when I say we will not be seated for this one. I know there's some hardcore Twisted Metal fans, but come on, you really waiting for this? Now this is where we get a little iffy on if it could show up or not. Some of these games it just might be too early for. Some of these games have just been no shows for a while now, so that's probably why it's in this section. I'll explain for each one why. A few of these games have been confirmed, some not, but I'm about 50% sure these games could even show up, but an equal chance for it to like not be mentioned at all, which is why I call it a maybe. Seems pretty obvious. I don't know why I wrote that down. I know this game was announced with Spider-Man 2, so it would seem like a lock to show up here, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we don't get anything about this game. It was always assumed that Wolverine was gonna come out way after Spider-Man anyway, so if we get anything about this game at the showcase, I imagine it'll be like a trailer that sprinkles in a bit of gameplay, maybe a release window for 2025 at the earliest, I think. I mean, at some point Insomniac has to like not have a game to release like within the next year, right? Because they've been kind of going crazy since Spider-Man PS4 came out. They've just been like releasing stuff non-stop like every 2 years. Like no way they could keep this up, right? It's kind of wild to think there's another huge Final Fantasy game in the pipeline like so soon, considering Final Fantasy 16 is not even out yet, it's just around the corner. I don't think this game is a lock to show simply because of that exact fact. I don't think Square Enix would want to take the attention off of Final Fantasy 16. I can see this like not showing up. I would love for this game to make an appearance, but I wouldn't hold my breath, honestly. If we do get something though, I imagine it'll be a gameplay trailer. I honestly wouldn't be surprised at another CGI trailer or something too, but I imagine if they show it again, we'll probably get some gameplay. And I'm expecting, I know they said winter 2023 when they announced this game, but I don't think that's happening. I'm gonna say somewhere in the first half of 2024. Yeah, that seems more likely. There's a lot of rumors floating around about Guerrilla Games' next game. We know for sure that Horizon 3 is happening, but there's been some whispers about them working on maybe a multiplayer game of some sort. With the Netflix show seemingly taking place in the past before the events of Zero Dawn, I wouldn't be surprised if the rumored FPS game Guerrilla's working on could be set in that time period as well in the Horizon universe. Considering that Sony again is all about synergy, I could see them like having a game talking about like the war that happened like before the end of the world, or maybe it could be a new Killzone or SOCOM. I could see SOCOM happening considering they hired the guy that worked on Rainbow Six Siege, so I can see SOCOM happening. There's no telling what Guerrilla Games next game will be. We know it won't be Horizon 3, at least that's my assumption, because Horizon 3 is probably a couple of years off. I am excited to see what's next for Guerrilla though, assuming that it isn't Horizon 3 next. All we know about this game is that it's currently in development. Sucker Punch has been actively hiring for this game for a few years now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this game show up. I imagine all we would get though is an announcement trailer that doesn't really show that much. It's been 3 years since Ghost of Tsushima released, so it's kind of in that in-between phase where a new game could be announced soon, or I could see them not being quite ready to show it, and that's why I think this one's a maybe. I wonder if they're gonna set the game in Tsushima again, or will we get like an entirely new location? And if that's the case, is it gonna be called Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of something? Whatever it is, I'm gonna be ready for this game. Surely Jin Sakai has to be in it again. He's become like some sort of mascot for PlayStation, so I don't think Sucker Punch ever misses on a game. Even if I wasn't that high on Infamous Second Son, I don't think they've ever made a bad video game, so I'm definitely ready to see what Sucker Punch has in the pipeline. It feels like this game has been rumored for like 5 years now. It would make sense if a Metal Gear Solid remake shows up here, but I'm not completely sold on it, to be honest, just because of how many times it's been rumored to show up only for nothing to happen. This time around though, the rumors hold a little more weight because Konami seems to be primed for a return to releasing AAA video games again, and it feels like it's been forever since they've had any sort of presence in the industry. If this game is announced at the showcase, I can see it coming out in like 2024. February or March sounds about right for a game like this. I don't really know. I don't think it's a second half 2024 type of game, so definitely not first half, maybe even first quarter. Yeah, I'm thinking first quarter 2024 for this one. Speaking of Konami, there are rumors that they are working on a new Castlevania game as well. Well, it doesn't seem to be a remake or a remaster of some sort, but apparently it's gonna be a AAA Castlevania game. So that makes me think it's gonna be like one of the PS3 era Castlevania games, and that could be a good thing or bad thing depending on who you are. I'm always interested to see what new they could do with Castlevania, so I'm fine with either or. I just want Konami to do something because they've been so quiet. Now that PlayStation acquired Bungie, I can see their new games showing up here. They've been working on new games aside from Destiny 2 since about 2018, I want to say. I think enough time has passed though that Bungie will be ready to show something about it. We already got some leaked concept art for their apparent hero shooter titled Matter. I don't know if that's gonna be the official name or if it's just like a code name. I think Matter is a pretty cool name. Bungie seems to be very stuck on having those one-word titles. They're all about like catchy titles: Halo, Destiny, Marathon. And speaking of, there have been rumors of Bungie working on a Marathon game in the style of an extraction shooter, so something like Tarkov. Now, I don't know how far along that game would be, considering the rumors haven't been floating around that long. I think it's more likely that we see the hero shooter game. With how long it took for Kingdom Hearts 3 to drop, I have zero faith we'll get anything about Kingdom Hearts 4 at the showcase. I know they already announced it, but we all know how it goes with Kingdom Hearts. So not this year, maybe next year. Hopefully never though, personally. You could keep that game. I just really don't care about Kingdom Hearts. Guys, it's time to give it up. Jack and Dexter and Sly Cooper are gone, dead. They are in a better place now. Sony would rather go bankrupt than put their prize jewel studios on some platformers, no matter how much you guys want these games. And personally, I don't want Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog to backtrack to making games in that fashion because they just are not those studios anymore. They've definitely matured and seemingly want to make more complex, and I don't know how else to put this, but less childish games. It's time to just let it go, guys. I also wouldn't be surprised if we go like 8 more years without a new Ratchet and Clank game as well, if ever. As much as I loved Rift Apart, I wouldn't mind seeing Ratchet and Clank just be retired because there's only so much new you could do with games like these. Speaking of giving up, guys, it's time to give up on this game too. A Bloodborne remaster is not happening, and I don't think Bluepoint is doing a sequel to the game either. Now, we know they're working on an original game, so there's like a 5% chance it could be Bloodborne, considering they just did a Demon Souls remake. But I'm not gonna hold out hope for Bloodborne because I feel like if Sony wanted to do something with it, we would get a remaster for like PS5. Not a remaster, but some sort of PS5 upgrade to make it run at 60 frames. So if they haven't done anything with it, then it's definitely not gonna be a remake, and I don't see a sequel, so let's lay this one to rest too. And my last definitely no is going to be the KOTOR remake, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I think it's obvious why this one's not gonna show up, considering they just pulled Aspyr off the project. They're handing it to a new studio, and this new studio definitely is not gonna have anything to show. Just give up on KOTOR. We're probably not gonna see KOTOR for at the very least another year. I honestly don't even know why they would announce this KOTOR remake if they didn't have anything good to show, or if like the project wasn't moving along well enough to go through with it. So yeah, this is just why you don't announce games too early. Now, I didn't really get into the brand new studios that have unannounced games because there just isn't any info to go off of. I think we see a lot of these live service games that the new first party studios are working on, specifically like Firewalk Studios and Haven Software. Like I said, we don't know anything about these games besides the fact that they will be live service, and considering Firewalk is a studio made up of old Respawn and Bungie developers, I imagine their game will be a first person shooter of some sorts. And we know even less about what Haven's game is going to be. All I know is that Jade Raymond's part of the studio in some way. So yeah, nothing really to say about those two. And then I also didn't get into any third party like exclusive predictions because it's just so impossible to predict like what could be showing up. You know, you never know what PlayStation is like throwing money at to make exclusive. So there are rumblings of a GTA 6. I probably should have put this in the definitely no section, but there's rumors of a GTA 6 or hope for a GTA 6 appearance, but I don't see it. We're probably another year off for GTA 6. If you think about Rockstar, they like to announce their games and then release it like within the year of when they announce it. I don't think GTA 6 is coming out to like May 2025. There's rumors we're gonna get some new hardware announcements too though. Maybe the rumored detachable disc drive PS5 might make an appearance. I wonder if they'll call that the PS5 Slim. I can see it being the Slim. Maybe the new remote play handheld or even the PS5 Pro could show up as well. Though I'm a little skeptical about those last two considering the timing. I would definitely be interested in the remote play handheld because even though I love my backbone, I'd rather free up my phone and have a dedicated device for it. Moments like this are the most exciting time for me to be a PlayStation fan. When they go all out and spoil us with new game announcements, it honestly makes me just like so hyped to be in the video games. What are you guys personally most excited or hopeful for at the showcase? For me, it's definitely going to be Spider-Man 2, just because I love Spider-Man and I'll always have a soft spot for Spider-Man content, whether it's good or bad. But yeah, comment below, let me know what you're looking forward to at the showcase. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in on Wednesday and watch me literally go insane at all the announcements. Peace out, guys.